After Arsenal and Manchester City played out a draw in the showpiece game of last weekend, many Liverpool fans could be forgiven for thinking that they could start to celebrate another Premier League title already. However, just be careful not to celebrate by taking your shirt off. This week's fixture shows up a cracker between, you've guessed it, your favourite podcasters team versus your other favourite podcasters team. It can only be Brentford versus Manchester United. This is a Stakehouse Premier League Game Week Episode 6. I'm joined once again by my co-pilot, Lucas Dazinski, staunch Brentford fan. Lucas, how are you feeling about us boys turning up at your place, running riot and leaving with all 3 points?
Well, to be honest, I think this is the first time you're wearing a United top, so it's a bit weird how all of a sudden you're proud to wear the top, considering they're playing so poorly.
I don't know whether I'll call it proud or just trying to wind you up. One of the two. Yeah.
You have to try harder than that, to be honest. All I've got is look at your P&L, and that keeps me engaged.
Oh, wow. It's gone there already. It's early doors. It's a long season.
But yeah, I mean, moving on to the game, shifting onto the game. I really don't know what's going to happen this game, even though I got a bet on it. It's not the way you want to start a pod. Brentford against Fulham were just horrific. I think the whole setup, the lineup, 5 at the back just wasn't great. The subs were awful. It's going to take a bit of time to hit us some form, but I feel like Griffin Park is a bit of a fortress. You know, we're not playing well, but I feel like playing at home we play a bit better. And I don't think United are that good of a team. I know you're gonna disagree. You know, they got a win against Chelsea, but look, Chelsea were 10 men down to 10 men, like basically from the beginning, right? So I don't think you can look into that much. And even then, they just narrowly beat them 2-1, right?
Yeah, we went down to 10 ourselves at some point as well.
Oh yeah, a bit later on, but I mean,
one thing for anyone travelling to this game, as I am, by the way, don't head for Griffin Park, no matter what Lucas says, because it's a bit of an outdated stadium. I don't know. I think that's a block of flats now. But no, look, I get it. I mean, we've launched straight in here. Obviously, it was nice to see you betting last week, and we had a win and a half loss on the board, so nice early profit from you there. Good stuff. In terms of this game, with Brentford, I just think we were obviously at the game ourselves against Fulham, and they were really, really poor. They were poor as well away at Villa on the first day of the season, and they were poor away at Sunderland. So their away form is really, really in the doldrums. And when that happens, there becomes an over-reliance at home. Suddenly, there's real pressure on your home fixtures and to get points. That might start to tell if their away form doesn't pick up, so they really need to sort that out. From a United perspective, it's still a little bit hit and miss, but this is a really important game for me. This is the sort of game which tells us how much they have moved on and developed from last season, because it's the sort of game, if you're going to make Champions League, you need to win. Maybe Champions League's too far. Even Europa, you need to be knocking on the door of 3 points. I personally don't know, but I know that you've got an official tip on it, so why don't you launch into that?
Yeah, like I said, I feel like Andrews has learned from that game a lot. I mean, he's still learning game by game, trying to find his optimal formation lineup. But I feel like surely he knows it's going to be 4-3-3, and Otaro needs to start. He looked so good when he came off the bench. Everyone was shocked he wasn't starting. Saying this, I feel like the United price is just too short here. United are evens to win. Like, they're not that good of a team. I know we're not great, but at home we do usually play a lot better. So I'm going on Brentford plus a quarter. So basically, if it's a draw, you get a half win. If it's a win and win, and you can get that actually at 2.1. So pretty good price, I'd say. So over evens, just need Brentford to draw.
Cool. I mean, look, I'm obviously a United fan, but even if I've got a slight inkling that they're going to do something here, even I can't touch them at that sort of price. I fully agree.
Yeah, exactly. It's
price
too, they're too short. Yeah,
it's way too short. So your tip, you say, is Brentford plus a half? Did you
plus a
say
quarter.
plus a quarter?
You can if you want. You can go plus a quarter. That's sorry. You can go plus a half. You get a price of 1.83. But look, personally myself, I'm happy. I'm happy to gamble a little bit more and like look. You get a draw, get a half win. But at least if it's a win, you get a bit more money back.
Cool. Okay, first game, first tip. That's how we do it. Moving on to the next one, we've got Chelsea versus Brighton. I can kick off with this one because I've got a player angle. I don't actually have the official tip for it yet because I'm still weighing up exactly how to attack it, believe it or not. I put my notes together for this 2 days ago. But it centres around the Brighton midfielder Iori, who obviously scored a worldie at the weekend. But I'm really interested in his shots data. From 34 games last season, he only registered 28 shots, which as a deep-lying defensive midfielder is kind of to be expected. There's no particular shocks about that. However, this season so far, in his 5 games, he's registered 9 shots. I agree that it's a small sample size, which is something to take into consideration. But the benefit from a small sample size sometimes on players is that the bookies may not have adjusted accordingly. So basically, last season he was hitting at an average of, it looks to be about 0.8 shots per match. He's currently working towards 1.8. So whether we attack it with shots on target, with goals, I'm still yet to be 100% sure of my route, but there will be a route, and I will be tweeting it in the next day or two as we get closer to the game. So please do make sure that you've got your Twitter notifications turned on for the Stakehouse to make sure that you see that one coming through.
Good little bit of research. I'm surprised.
You know me, there's a first time for everything. What about the game? What's your model saying?
I got Chelsea to win this comfortably. Well, not comfortably, but I got them 0.57 goals better than Brighton, so I'm not gonna bet on this game. I can see Chelsea winning this by probably like a 1-goal margin. But to be honest, it's going to be an interesting game. Both attacking teams, right? And it's a bit of a transfer derby, right? You could say.
You could do. Personally, if it's on TV, I'll watch it, which is probably what gets in the way of my research sometimes, watching a lot of football, Lucas. So, yeah, something else to consider. Crystal Palace.
It's not on TV. You haven't done your research. I have.
Well, maybe watch some of the ones that are. Palace versus Liverpool. Look, Liverpool obviously made a lot of changes before the game against Everton, right? Out came Wirtz as a key one, and I've been talking all season about the midfield balance with Wirtz and whether it's correct or not. What a problem they've got now, because that 45 minutes that they played in the first half against Everton was the best 45 minutes that they've played of the season, hands down. So what a selection headache for Slot, because what do? This player cost 112 million? Something like this, very close, right?
Yeah,
he cannot sit on the bench. You cannot spend 112 million for a player to sit on the bench. Yeah,
is he worth that?
Oh, that's another question altogether. Right now, the evidence says
got
no.
Shafted, yeah.
But what do? Right? Do you stick with the lineup that worked and functioned better for this game, or do you bring him back in?
I'm not convinced of Liverpool. I said this towards the end of last season, right? They were kind of tailing off, and you could say, yeah, they were cruising a bit because they were basically, about to win the league, etc. But we're kind of seeing it now at the moment. On expected points, they actually should be 7th, which is actually not good at all.
Yep.
ATK's like missing a game, so that means Isak's going to have to start, right? I assume. He's not really fit, is he? So, well, he is fit, but not, he hasn't really had a pre-season, etc. I'll let you continue because I'm gonna tell you my bet later on at the end.
Okay, it's a good view on Liverpool. It doesn't clear up the selection headache in the slightest, but but I guess there's no easy answer for that as well. So yeah. I'm not really too surprised. Just to clarify, expected points obviously calculated by teams' expected goals and expected goals against per game, which then gives you your expected points and where they would stand in an expected points league. We've done a a episode in our Stakehouse strategy at the start of the season on expected goals. So if you want a little bit more information, feel free to delve into that. It's all listed on each channel. In terms of the game itself, it's a tough one. I think Ismaila Sarr is back for Palace, right, for this one.
He's he's back in the squad. Not sure if he's going to start, but he's back in the squad.
Okay. I think that's a massive boost to have him back. I think he's a really, really important player for them. Liverpool traditionally haven't done that well at Selhurst Park. They've dropped points there in quite meaningful games in the past. I think it's a really close call. I think Liverpool still haven't won a game by more than one goal, right? And I can't see this being any different. So if Liverpool do get over the line, it feels like there'll be one goal in it. A draw probably wouldn't shock me, but I wouldn't be touching it from the betting perspective.
Well, funny you say that. Guess where? So I mentioned Liverpool being 7th on expected points, right? So they're massively overachieving where they should be. Guess where Palace should be on expected points?
All right. Well, it's obviously, if you're making me guess, then it's either really high or really low. I'm going to go really high. I'm going to go second.
First.
Wow. Top of the league.
So, yeah, in terms of XG, they're probably the best team in the league so far.
That's a great
Like I said,
start.
huh?
That's a great
And
start.
didn't you say they were going to? Didn't you say they were going to go down?
Are you literally going to remind me of this every single
Yeah,
podcast?
exactly. Just show your ball knowledge is horrific.
Excellent.
And I tipped them to be top 6, right?
But the season isn't over. We're six games in.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, okay. All right. Chill out. But what I'm saying is Palace are actually a really good team, like really strong. And look, Liverpool haven't been playing great, right? Like they've been scraping wins here and there, right? I'm not saying they're a bad team, but at the moment they are a bad team. It might take a bit of time to new signings gel, etc. But I think on paper at the moment, Palace are definitely the more informed team in terms of the way they're playing. They're beating teams quite comfortably, etc. Creating a lot of chances. So this could be a little napper this season. My last bet that I was this confident was when I was back in Palace was probably Palace in the FA Cup final against City. When I backed him, was it a draw, win or something like that? I think they're going to get a result here. So I am back in Palace plus a half at even. So basically, all they need to do is draw, and you win your bet. I can't see Liverpool winning this game. I can't.
So basically, Palace double chance.
Yep.
But nap of the season, what a shot that!
Yeah, already, and it's only been 2 weeks I've been betting.
I love it. He sits on the fence for so long, but when he gets off it,
I'm confident. I'm telling you, Palace are a really good team.
Great. Okay, so there you have it. There's your nap of the season sorted. So potentially look at double stakes on that one, something like that. And then if you're playing points, it might be something to consider.
Yeah, definitely double stakes if you're doing a point system. I wouldn't shy away from it. Personally, I'm not, because I do the same stakes every single bet. But yeah, each to their own.
Okay, let's move on. Leeds versus Bournemouth. I mean, fair play to Leeds at Wolves. I didn't think. I look at that Leeds squad and team, and I didn't know where goals were coming from. So I saw the scoreline at half time that they were 3-1 off.
Yeah, but they were lucky. I mean, they generated an XG of 0.51, scored 3 goals.
Yeah, 3 absolute worldies.
That's not
unheard
sustainable.
of. This is it, and it doesn't seem to me like it's going to be repeated all too often. So really important not to let scorelines like that knee-jerk your decision-making, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Wolves actually still won that game comfortably. They generated 1.78 XG, so it should have been pretty routine win for Wolves, really.
And funny that you talk about Wolves XG, because that's something that I definitely want to come on to later in the pod. In terms of this one, I think I wouldn't be surprised by a tight game, potentially a draw. Maybe Bournemouth to nick it, but I'm not betting on it. But for me, it's probably a draw.
Yeah, not yeah. I got Bournemouth slightly better, 0.3 goals better. So Yeah,
Okay, there you
draw,
go.
Bournemouth win. Can't see Leeds getting anything at
There
home.
you go. If you're looking for a selection for your ACCA, then Bournemouth coming off 0.3 better with the model. City versus Burnley. How do you see this one?
I mean, I've got City like a whole 2 goals better. I mean, 3-0, 4-0. Take your guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think City will win comfortably as well. I
Yeah.
would say that Burnley are doing more than I expected to them to do at the start of the season. I didn't think they'd get a point against Forest. I'd tipped Forest. Obviously, that one didn't work out for me. But um, I actually think that
Oh yeah, obviously it didn't work out for you.
he's on one today. But yeah, in terms of, I still think they'll go down. I'm just saying they haven't looked as dreadful as I quite expected. I was thinking they might finish bottom of the league, and that's no, still possible, but not quite as likely. But yeah, comfortable City win expected. We'll move on to Forest versus Sunderland. What have you got for this one?
Look, Forest playing Europe for first time in very long time, right? So I think they were 2-1 up last time I checked. We were recording this during the game.
They were 2-1 up at half time against Betis.
Yeah, quick turnaround, obviously for them, right? I still got half a goal better than Sunderland. I expect them to win. Sunderland have actually quite surprised me, to be honest. They've been. I thought they were going to go down, but they're looking alright, to be honest. And yeah, it'll be good for them to stay up. A different team. Son, like everyone were tipping them to go down, right, along with Burnley, and thinking that Leeds are going to stay up. So saying that, I haven't got anything in this game. I feel like the market's probably where it should be. Probably narrow in Forest.
Well, I tipped them to stay up at the start of the season. You keep reminding me of my negatives, so I'll get that.
Oh, it's a long season. It's a long season.
That's the same argument the other way. In terms of Forest versus Sunderland, this game, I agree with what you said there, and I think the Forest price is actually quite fair at 1.87. So I have got an official tip of Forest to win. I think Sunderland have surprised and have played well, but I think most of it's come at the Stadium of Light. I don't think too much of it's come away from home on the road, and that's why I'm happy enough to get Forest on side here. So 1.87 available. I think, as you say, I expect them to win as well, and I do think that it's a very nice price. So there you have it. Move on to Tottenham versus Wolves. I can take this one. So looking at XG, and I'm fascinated by it in this game. Because if you look at it, Spurs are actually overperforming by 4 goals in XG, and Wolves are underperforming by 4 goals. So there's a huge shift there, which will no doubt be affecting. I feel like it will be affecting the odds. In terms of this, so effectively Spurs have scored more, and that should start to level out. They should start to find it difficult to hit the net with the same frequency, and Wolves should be able to defend better, and obviously, games like the one against Leeds, for example, they shouldn't be conceding 3 goals with that sort of level of 0.5 xg or whatever it was. So in this game, I'm not necessarily saying oppose Tottenham, because I think they could still comfortably win the game 1 or 2-0. It wouldn't surprise me, but I do think the under 2.5 goals market is really fair. I don't have confidence in Wolves to score many goals. So if we believe that the Tottenham attack and the Wolves defence are both skewed, then I think the attacking the goal line is definitely an angle that we can go with here. So 2.24 for under 2.5 goals in this game. And I think that is a very fair price. So that comes in as an official tip for me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a bit similar to that in a way. Spurs are massively overperforming. They should actually be 11th in the table. Wolves should be 18th. So quite a big difference. So Tottenham are overperforming by 8 positions, which is mental. They did beat who are they playing today? Doncaster, but look, that's Doncaster, right? Can't look into it too much, but they put a decent squad out, to be honest. So, and they only beat him was it 3-0, something like that, and one was an own goal. The XG difference was only 1. So not great playing at home against Doncaster, right? But yeah, obviously you can't look into it. But I think they're just too short. Like, look at the price, the way they're massively overperforming. They're priced at 1.5 to win at home. That's mental. That's just too short for me. So I'm looking at Wolves here, +1. You can get Wolves +1 on 2.11. So basically, if Wolves lose by 1 goal, get your money back. So you just need to avoid them getting smashed up, basically, which could happen. But they did manage to beat Everton 2-0. They didn't quite win the XG battle there, but I think they'll be up for this game. And I feel like, the run that Spurs on at the moment is not sustainable. And equally, it could be a bit of a convergence between the two, right? One's overperforming, one's underperforming. Maybe this might be the game. So yeah, official tip, Wolves +1 at 2.11.
Cool. So 2 different official tips in this game, one from each of us, both with a chance of landing together, by the way. So maybe that's a different angle as well if you want to...
In a double.
Combining them in a bet builder for sure is also potentially an option there. Move on to Aston Villa versus Fulham. I mean, Villa getting an easy ride in the press. If this was United or City or any really amazing club,
That is a good point, to be honest.
the knives would be well and truly out. I mean, I just think Emery's completely checked out. I think he's just... I don't think he wants to be there at all. Calling his players lazy in his last post-match interview. I mean, the conspiracy theorist within me wants to say that let's supposing a world where Villa lose this game at home to Fulham and Brentford beat United, as you expect them to. Is there a world where Amorim gets sacked and Unai Emery comes to Manchester United?
Would you want that?
I think I would. I'm not delighted with this season, but you cannot doubt Emery.
Yeah, he could do a job. But does he want the job? I don't think a lot of managers do want the United job. I know you keep saying it's a big club, etc. history, but it's just like there's so many underlying issues behind kind of,
My
powers
feeling
that be,
is that
right?
Emery would take it. That's. I mean, we're still attractive. We can still attract key players. Look, it's a conspiracy theory. God knows, and if it's even remotely possible. And of course, it depends on how results go. But just something I think about, because when I look at Emery at Villa, he just looks miserable. Like this season, he just doesn't. I just don't think he wants to be there at all.
Yeah, but the play. I mean, it's only so much on the coach, right? Players, they're good. It's got some really good players, right?
Yeah, they have, but I don't know. It's not too dissimilar to the squad that's done very well in the last few years. I just think the lack of Champions League football has really demotivated him. I don't know what it is, but I mean, you tell me. What if they scored 1 goal in 5 games? Like, what is going on? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of XG, they're doing poorly as well. So it's not like they're underperforming. They're where they should be, basically.
Yeah, for sure. And again, I think with this one, like, I have got an official tip. I just want to go against them here because there's clear disharmony in camp. They're not happy. He's not happy. The players aren't happy. He's calling out the players in the media. Fulham plus a quarter, plus 0.25 at 1.94 for me is official tip. I'm confident that Fulham can go there and get a result. Fulham are a good side. Like, we watched them, really impressed with them against Brentford. I know Brentford were poor, but Fulham are a good team. They showed it against United earlier in the season as well. When I watched that one, I think the price of 1.94 at plus a quarter is more than fair.
I think the market's more or less there, to be honest. So I won't be touching that.
Okay. And we penultimately, we go to Newcastle versus Arsenal. I'll let you kick off.
Yeah, look, I'm proper anti-Arsenal, right? I was really well.
That's it. That's in both data and personal feeling, right?
Yeah. It's just everything, and fan base, everything.
Fan base, wow. Sorry, Gooners.
So everyone last week kept banging on about, Arsenal going to win this comfortably, 3-1, etc. For like literally every single tipster and like everyone was like backing it, every pundit, they were going to smash him up. I, for once, well, I feel like I was the only person who wasn't. I didn't make it an official tip, but I did say last week I think City plus a half are better value. I don't know what Arteta's doing. Like they should be like with the squad they have now, they should be going ultra attack like every game almost, right? I just don't get it. Newcastle's a very difficult place to go, and I think Newcastle can get a result here. Again, Arsenal playing away from home, 2.13 playing away from home at Newcastle, which Newcastle are a good team. I know Isak's gone, but I feel like they've done okay in the recruitment wise. I think they've still got some good players there. So I think I can see this easily being a draw, but I'm back in Newcastle. At home, there's 3.6. That's massive, playing at home. I'm back in Newcastle plus a quarter at 2.08. I think that's really good value. So basically, similar to like Brentford, if it's a draw, you get a half win. If it's a win, you get a win. So I'm pretty comfortable with this bet, to be honest.
I mean, all this stuff, the Arsenal team selection at home to City last weekend. I mean, why leave Eze on the bench?
And then he starts today against Port
Yeah,
Vale. And to be honest, in Port Vale, the game's finished now. Oh no, yeah, well, it's about to finish. 2-0 up away. They generated 0.93 xG away to Port Vale, and with a decent lineup.
but I don't get why you wouldn't start him. Like you've splashed out big money for him. He's a great player. I think he's fit. I mean, he's starting tonight, so it indicates he's fit. I just don't really get why you wouldn't be playing him, particularly with the creativity he has with Odegaard out. I was really surprised by the decision not to start him. Just don't get it at all. What I would say though is that yeah, I know there's 6 behind Liverpool. I don't see that as a panic station at all. I agree with you in terms of not being convinced by Liverpool. I think it's a long season. There's a lot of points to be dropped. I still think Arsenal have the best squad in the league. And I still think they've got every chance of going on and winning the league, personally. So for me, I am going to oppose you. I'm just not convinced by Newcastle going forward. I don't think there's enough firepower there. I mean, Voldemort, he just doesn't look right. He looks like, obviously, I don't know whether a 70s adult film star or whatever way you want to describe it, but I find it hard to take him seriously up front. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he'll prove me wrong and he'll score a hat-trick in this game, or maybe he won't. But Newcastle just haven't been hitting the net. If you take away the Liverpool game, I think they've scored like 1 goal all season or something. I mean, against Bournemouth last week, they generated what, 0.3?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
They don't.
But again,
score.
maybe it's a bit of a Sunderland right at home, different
They haven't,
gravy.
apart from the Liverpool game where there was like real angst over the Isak situation. They haven't really done a lot. I mean, they beat Wolves 1-0 at home.
There's
It's
one.
not.
I'll tell
It's
you
not
one thing
sparkling,
though.
is it?
They have in terms of like expected goals against. They actually have the best defense in the league.
Okay, that's
So
interesting.
their expected goals against is 2.5. Arsenal's second best defense at 3.3. Attack is poor. Yeah, I admit that, but I guess the defense is good, so it could be a draw here, some kind.
Okay. I mean, for me, I feel like it's got 0-1 written all over it this game.
To someone,
No, to Arsenal. 0-1, not 1-0. So I'm going to tip up. I'm going to go head to head and tip up the Arsenal win at 2.24. I think it's fair
clueless.
enough.
We'll see.
We shall see. To be honest, as long as United beat Bees and you can have the rest, I don't mind.
Yeah, I'll collect the free bets. That's fine.
All right. I'll talk after the bet, not before. Everton versus West Ham is the game that we wrap up with. I don't have a huge amount to say on this one. Everton baffled me that they put a weak squad out in the Carabao Cup. Why leave Grealish? And I've forgotten the other name, Dewsbury Hall on the bench. You're obviously not going down, and you're obviously not making Europe in the league. So baffles me that they just chuck away a
Yeah.
good Cup One opportunity.
Against Wolves as well, haven't really been playing great either. Could have been
Exactly.
a good easy win to get into the next round, but
This is a real opportunity, and they just didn't seem to want it, which is really surprising. With that in mind, resting these key players for West Ham at home, I'd probably lean towards an Everton win.
yeah, I got Everton I got the market where it should be. I got Everton way better than them, 0.8 goals better. So I feel like Potter's got this game, and if he loses this game, they got West Ham next before the international break. I think no matter what happens next game, if he loses this game, they're just gonna make it official. Not official, but behind the scenes, they're gonna be like, okay, let's get rid of him because I mean, whatever happens against Arsenal is not going to rectify what he's done.
They'll spend the next week looking for a replacement.
Yeah, and then
Announce it straight after Arsenal, and then give that
yeah.
manager the international break. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Agree. Okay, but you expect Everton to win then?
Yeah,
Same.
yeah,
Okay,
Everton
great.
win.
Let's recap. I'll go first. So kicking off with Ayari, the Brighton midfielder, looking at a potential shots or goals angle. I will tweet that one out. Next, I've got Forest to win at home to Sunderland at 1.87. I've got Tottenham and Wolves under 2.5 goals at 2.24. I've got Fulham plus 0.25 or plus a quarter away at Villa at 1.94. And I've got Arsenal at 2.24. 5 tips in total. Yourself?
4 for me. So I got Brentford plus a quarter, Palace plus a half, Wolves plus 1, and Newcastle plus a quarter. Expecting a clean slate.
Excellent. There you have it. 9 tips coming to you from the Stakehouse to help you print some money in the next game week. That's all from us. Take care, enjoy your football, and up the Reds.
Bees. Cheers.